Hey, B-Siders. Welcome to another episode of Bravo for the B-Side. This is Jim,
And this is Danny.
and we have another episode.
We sure do.
And we have stepped outside the realm of horror for this one
Into thriller.
into thriller.
Yeah.
Yeah. Before we get to all that good stuff, though,
We got news.
let's talk about some news.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our friend, David Reinkeith, is working on Redwood Massacre 3. That is a go.
It is green lit, finally.
I know. I'm very excited. I don't know. We have talked to David a lot about, what his plans for Redwood Massacre 3 would be if there were one.
Yeah.
And there's been a lot of ideas thrown around that are all really fun. So I'm kind of excited to see
Where it's
where it
going to go.
goes. Yeah.
Hopefully we'll get a little inside. Hint, hint, David. But we won't share anything because, that's not cool.
All right.
Make everyone wait. Although I do know that at one point he was wanting it to Burlap to make his way to Vegas. And that would
Yeah.
have been exciting because we would have taken off of work
Right?
and gone out there just to even just stand there
I
and
know.
watch, Love Redwood Massacre, Redwood Massacre 2. It's all good. My thing is beeping because you checked it off. Nope, wrong way. Yep, and so did my watch. Okay. Well, it's just going to be sounds,
Ding.
peripheral sounds as we go throughout.
Yeah.
What else is happening in the news? Netflix is happening in the news. Another fucking price hike. And Netflix decided to, for the Apple TV, use their own video player. And that is a heaping piece of shit.
It sucks.
So we have canceled Netflix. It's timing out. I think another couple weeks, and then that'll be it because they've just had enough. And we don't watch a whole lot on there. Really,
Right.
we only had it for the 6th season of Peaky Blinders
Yeah.
because it wasn't available,
Right.
right? And Midge, we had gone all the way up to 5, and she was desperate. We were too.
Oh, yeah.
To see the last season, and yeah, but we did see the movie,
Oh, yeah.
The Immortal Man. I don't know what else there is to do there.
None.
Shows like The Witcher, when they got rid of Cavill, I was disinterested and haven't seen a single episode. All of the spin-offs, I could not care less,
Yeah.
of them. Anyway, some happy news. David Howard Thornton, who you folks may know as Art the Clown in the Terrifier series, we've had him on the show. He proposed to his fiancée dressed as Art the Clown at a red carpet event. And I saw a quick video of it. It was pretty cool. And she, of
Nice.
course, said yes. I sent an email to David saying we're very happy for you, and also for the success of Terrifier. It's just wild. I
Yeah.
love that series, and people love it or hate it, but we're in the love camp, so it's all good. What else we got? We have Elden Ring. This was surprising. Elden Ring is going to be made into a movie.
Sure.
Worst fucking game I've ever played. I don't see the attraction.
I really tried. I wanted to like it so bad. It
I
just wasn't for
know.
me.
I mean, yeah, we bought it and we're giving it a go and tried and tried. My criticisms of that game go long and deep. The graphics were shit. The mechanics were as clunky as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
I could think of 24 Commodore 64 games that whipped this game's ass.
Yeah.
This was at best a PS2 game, and why it,
Yeah.
and plus, I don't even know the fucking story of it. It's
I don't
so
either.
convoluted and stupid. How are you going to make a movie about it? So won't be seeing it because, again, could not care less. And in terms of games becoming a movie, Gears of War going to become a feature, or is going to become a feature film. I I'm on the fence with video games being made into movies. And I guess it depends. So, like, if Last of Us was, say, 2 hours and 20 minutes of film,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it would have been very good.
No.
The fact that they made it into a series, I think it gave us the elements of the game, but we've talked about it. A video game is great to play, but they're boring as shit to watch,
I know.
right? So they took, and this is a good lesson on when if you're going to work on adaptations, um, pick like 5 highlights of the game, like the big moment, the heart wrenching thing, whatever the game is. But then you have to like create a brand new story. You have to know the characters, and if a lot like in a lot of video games, you don't get a lot of character,
Hmm.
um, you need to create them.
Yeah.
But what made Last of Us great is the story and the ensemble. I mean,
Oh, I mean, yeah, that cast was phenomenal.
fucking balls out, you
Yeah.
know. So it did a good job. And I'm not a Gears of War player, so
Nope.
again, I don't even know where it's going to go. But I've lived through how many D&D movies, World of Warcraft, Doom, the Resident Evil series kicked off and has gone so far outside the game. It's just like
Prince of Persia.
crazy. Prince of Persia, which was a baffling disappointment.
I was so excited because Jake Gyllenhaal, but it was not great.
It was not great. Well, it's just like so we did Prince of Persia and it was an excellent game. And then what was it? Sands of Time? Or was that the first one?
That was the first
The
one.
first one. The second one where they took all the mechanics out. Like everything was like auto, like the wall running
Yeah,
and stuff. Um God, that sucked so bad. It was not the same game
I know.
at all.
It was
So,
difficult.
hey, that's entertainment though. Highs and lows,
Hmm.
satisfaction and gross disappointment.
In personal news,
Yeah.
our kitten, who's gonna turn 1 this week,
Yeah.
she was born with an umbilical hernia. We took her in this week to get spayed and get the hernia fixed.
Mm-hmm.
Because we were waiting until she was above an appropriate size
Right.
to get that done. And she's doing super well.
She is. So Chunkmaster 5000 has been dechunked a little bit. That's
Hmm.
our going phrase. And yep, she's doing well. She is the runt. She's bigger than Phoebe,
Right, but she's the runt of the litter
but
that
she
she.
was the runt. But yeah, she got the name Chunkmaster because even though she was tiny, she was a chunky little girl.
Yeah.
And I think we talked about it before. That litter, they were outside cats. Um, we gave the other ones away, and she ended up staying with us for so long that she
Yeah.
got used to the other 3 cats. And
And they became attached to her.
yeah, well, we were waiting. We were on a waiting list for the Humane Society to
Yeah.
take her in. When they finally called us, I thought about it and told you and Midge, I'm like, I don't think we can get rid of her. She is bonded to all 3 of these cats. She's
She's part of the family now.
yeah, and she's Lily's cat
Yes.
because she's very different with her.
I know.
When she takes her into her bedroom, she's so sweet and lovey. Out here, she's just like a spitfire, hell-raising little shit.
Sassy little thing.
Yeah. And speaking of birthdays, Midge had a birthday
Yeah.
this
Our
last
daughter.
week.
Hmm.
It was like an all-week birthday thing,
Yeah.
all different things. So yeah, we got chunks done on Friday. Yesterday, you guys went for a hair thing. I stayed and babysat chunks, which was kind of a thing.
Post surgery babysitting.
Yeah.
Yeah, Thursday we went out to dinner. We ate so well, I gave myself heartburn.
Yeah.
Whew.
Oh, it was so good though.
It was good. Worth it.
Yep. So anyone who's in southern Wisconsin and you're heading to Madison, go to Samba Brazilian Grill. No, we're not getting any paid sponsorship for anything. It's just really good.
It is.
Oh man. And we don't get there often enough
No.
at all. My favorite thing there though is their roasted pineapple. We've had it all kinds of places. I don't know. It's just, there's always that one place that does that one like common food
Yeah.
in such a way that you just can't imagine it. I mean, nothing else compares.
It's so good.
So yeah, I was in heaven
Hmm.
with that. And yeah, Biscuit, Lily's first cat, and Chunks don't get along.
They do not.
So yesterday that was even more special because he started some shit and well, I was on the phone with you. I gotta go.
I know.
Fucking cats.
Right?
Oh, let's see. I think that's really it. It's just been
Yeah.
a kind of a birthday thing. Where let's see. I think we've mentioned it. The script consulting that we've done. That bad boy's moved on to shooting script level,
Mm-hmm.
and we're still working on the
Revisions of our own.
yeah.
So,
Yeah.
do you want me to tell you about this movie?
I do.
Okay.
Bring it.
Let me get my announcer voice on. Me, 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 me.
Let's hear it.
The G
Excellent.
is the name of this movie.
I'm in.
It was done in 2023, written and directed by Carl R. Hearn, starring Dale Dickey,
Yeah. Mm.
which is what, sucked me into this. Romaine Dennis and Daniel Brochu. I hope I didn't fuck those names up, but
I mean, that's what we do.
yeah.
You know.
Not rated, obviously, independent film.
Mm-hmm.
The budget is unknown, and I did look and look and look for it, and what the most I got was this budget is not publicly available.
I mean, and that happens. We've talked about that. It's
Mhm.
not always easy to get.
It is a higher tier independent film budget, though.
Yeah. I mean, just looking at the trailer, you can see there was some cash involved with the equipment, and proper the proper number of things to shoot scenes.
Yeah.
Proper number of lights, and listening to it, you can tell the sound
Right.
was all there. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Proper stuff.
Yeah.
The log line. A mysterious older woman seeks revenge on the corrupt legal guardian who destroyed her life. I'm available to narrate trailers.
Okay. Well, we'll see how many emails come in for that.
Wow.
I'm just saying.
So many are going to come in.
Well, yeah. Let's do some narrations.
All right.
Okay. So should we dive into this? You have any quick comments on it, other than Dale, and she's just magnificent.
Dale.
Yeah.
Nope. Let's start.
All right. So as we fire up, we hear some sounds of digging, and then we see two men who are digging. It seems to be winter, and one of the guys asks the other, "Did you hear that?" And then we see hands digging away in sand, and a face is revealed, like a mouth.
Yeah, the lower half of a face.
Yeah, and it's moving.
Mhm.
What the hell? So the guy lights a cigarette, sticks it in the mouth, makes a joke, hey, last smoke kind of thing. Geez, fucking creepy. And then for some reason he yelps and says a bee stung him.
Yeah, something stung me.
Yeah, and the other dude points out there are no bees, and then they cover the face back up. So then we cut to a woman. She's sitting in an exam room, banging her foot against the bed. And we learn she is Mrs. Hunter. She's 72. Thank you to the doctor.
Yep.
And he asks what her occupation was. She says socialite.
Right.
Retired. Out in the waiting room, there's a young woman. She's standing against the wall and she's tapping her foot in boredom. And then we cut back inside. Doctor says Mrs. Hunter is losing weight. She should eat more. And then says they have to talk about her husband, and tells her that she's the problem. We don't have much to go on with that. So now we're driving along a river in the city. The young woman and Mrs. Hunter in the car, and the young woman asks if the doctor told Mrs. Hunter if she should eat more. And then something about her being kicked out of a group, and one of the women from the group misses her, meaning Mrs. Hunter being kicked out. One of the women misses her, calls her ruthless.
Yeah.
Kind of a personality description. Mrs. Hunter explains that if someone messes with her, she'll fuck up their family.
Yeah.
There's some chit chat. The young woman suggests that they leave town together. They're both kind of tired of whatever place that they're in.
Mm-hmm.
Then they come to this apartment building, and across the street are two men sitting in a van watching them. And one of them asks, "Is that her?" And then we cut. The young woman walks Mrs. Hunter to the door, shows her a picture of her upcoming date. She's a little excited about it. She leaves. Mrs. Hunter can see the van. We learn the young girl is Emma.
Mm-hmm.
Inside, Mrs. Hunter goes into the bedroom, and then there's a man in there, Chip, and he's laying in bed with oxygen, presumably her husband.
Right.
She says the doctor told her she's been neglecting him, like clipping nails, putting cream on his feet and stuff. And he just says, "Oh, we can do it tomorrow." And just different shots of the house is kind of like an absolute mess.
Yeah.
And then she pours vodka into an old yogurt container.
Yeah.
Oh, and then has a smoke. And then she looks at the refrigerator, and there's this drawing clearly done by a little kid.
Yeah, it's a child's drawing.
Yeah. She gives it a good long stare. And then we cut to night, and she steps outside with the bottle, swigging away. So we have foregone the yogurt container. And then tosses it on the concrete, and it smashes. Then she goes in to get a ladder to fix her broken porch light. Dudes in the van are still there watching. One says, "Sweet Christ on a cracker," as he watches her drunkenly climb this ladder. I'm like, oh, I don't know.
I know.
This ought not to be what she's doing. So she gets up there and she gives the bulb a little turn. Kabam. There you go. Just loose bulb, so that's fixed. So later, she's in and sleeping with her husband, and there's some banging sounds. So she wakes up, and it's one of the guys. Says they have a court order to move her to a care facility. And then some other dude is wheeling out her husband. They take her out to the van. The next morning, we see Emma painting her nails, listening to headphones. Later, she tells her parents she's going out on a date to meet her friend Brenda and some other folks. So it seems the man, Michael, is the son of Mrs. Hunter's husband.
Right.
Yeah. So, and he is also the stepfather to Emma.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we've got some broken up many shelves here. Many
complicated family dynamics.
Yeah. Or, as we like to call it, modern family.
Right.
So Emma calls Mrs. Hunter the G.
Mm-hmm.
So that's her step grandmother, however you want
Yeah.
to figure this whole thing out. So, and then he does not like the G at all, blames her for his father's condition. Emma leaves.
So at the facility, the nursing home, things are pretty sterile and bare. The G is in there, and she is like trying to figure out a way out. The phone doesn't work. The door opens just long enough for someone to drop food plates in, but is locked from the outside.
Mm-hmm.
And Grandpa Chet or Chip.
Chip.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was Chet for a while, and then she said Chip, and I was like, okay. So I call him Chet most of the time, but I'll try and call him Chip. He's upset. He's crying. He doesn't want to be here. He wants to go home. And the G says she's going to get it straightened out. So then we're with Emma, and she's at this knitting group, which is presumably the one that G got kicked out.
Yeah.
They're asking her about her date. It didn't go well. The guy was late and wanted to watch her pee, she says.
Yeah, it was okay.
I mean, this honestly, it's funny. It's a joke, but it's also not really a joke. Like, that's kind of, the reality.
I mean, that is what the dating pool has devolved to as of late. Because I've noticed a lot of films have centered on that. And it's not like the one-offs. Like, oh, great dating story is kind of like common, which is sad.
Yeah.
Which is, before we get back into it, dudes, step it the fuck up.
I mean,
step up, man. This is not this. Anyway.
Right. So Emma says G would have put his eyes out. So back at the nursing facility, it seems like G has made it out of the room. She's knocking on doors in the hallway. She gets kind of iced out by this lady who cracks the door a little, and then realizes it's her and just shuts the door. Or realizes it's not like an orderly or someone.
Right.
It's very like bleak. So she hears a noise, ends up hiding in a stairwell, and she sees an elderly person with a hood over their head and no pants being kind of pushed down the hallway with a cane.
Mm-hmm. Meaning, so he's being prodded forward. I had a hard time putting that out too in words because it was so quick.
Mm-hmm.
But so he's walking, but he's being pushed with the cane at his back, so like a pushing rod.
Yeah.
Not being escorted, not being helped.
Being like herded.
Yeah.
So she manages to get outside, and the place is like desolate and sad. There is an elderly man who's uncovering trees, like pines and stuff. We learn his name is Joseph, and he tells her that she's not supposed to be out there and that she should just listen to her guardian and get along with them. They don't like people wandering around. He lends her his phone, but he says it won't do her any good.
Right.
So she reaches someone who, as we switch to like their point of view, they're tying up someone.
Yeah. We don't get to see who.
Mm-hmm.
We just see the feet and stuff. Yeah, they're zip tying someone.
Yeah. And the message is pretty brief. She says she needs to get a message to Jack. And then she's returning the phone to Joseph, who gives her a desert rose bonsai
Mm-hmm.
and is saying, water it every 3 weeks. And she's like, well, all my plants die. Back in the room, Chip is gone. And then we cut to Emma, who's going to their old condo, G's condo,
Mm-hmm.
and sees a for sale sign. So she calls after a guy going inside, and everything inside is packed up.
Yeah, and being hauled out.
Yeah. This has been like one day.
Yeah.
So then back at the home, Chip is wheeled in at 3 a.m. And the guardian tells them that residents have to stay in their apartments for the first month for their safety. He says that they've been going through assets of theirs and there's something missing. And he starts asking G where the money is.
Yeah, something about an inheritance.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And she keeps saying there is no money. This guy like screams at Chip, who is not in a good shape.
No.
I mean, he needs to be in a care home.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
Poor guy. And then he asks G again where the money is. And when she doesn't answer, he starts hitting Chip.
Right.
And he does this, like, it goes on until she finally screams at the guardian. And she asks him to leave Chip with her. And Chip is bleeding from the ears. And he basically says, well, if he survives, we'll just do this again next time.
Well, and before she screams, there's a moment where she just looks at him, really just as like there was a time when he would have ripped you in half with both hands.
Yeah.
I was like, ooh.
Mm-hmm.
So now Emma is at the elder care center trying to get in, gets the door shut in her face. There's a yard keeper out there and he sees her. Then we hear Emma's voice explaining this is how it works. A guardian finds old people who are isolated but have money. That person gets papers to say that these people aren't able to take care of themselves and goes to a judge, and they're given guardian control of the people and their money, all their assets. So, and this is illegal. This is legal.
Yep.
That's kind of the whole, big spoiler.
And it does happen in the real world.
A lot. And that's kind of this whole thing. So she's telling this to the yard keeper. He has his own business. He doesn't work for.
Right. He's a subcontractor.
Yeah. He just, does their stuff. And he goes to the place twice a week. Emma says the G doesn't take shit from anyone. The groundskeeper's name is Matt. And he's going to let her in the next time he's there if she goes out with him sometime. So, deal. And we cut inside. There are knife marks all over the place. So the G has found a kitchen knife and has been throwing it at a no smoking sign by the front door.
Yes.
And that whole section is just fucking peppered with the knife marks, which, What else do you do?
Right?
Chip is looking rough.
Yeah.
She checks his feet and she notices that they've been tended to. His nails have been clipped, they've been taken care of. Um, she lays next to him, humming a song. He starts choking. She tells him that she loves him, and then there's some like emergency button right on the nightstand,
Yeah.
and she's banging on it, and then he passes. So now we cut to Michael. He's polishing a shoe and getting frustrated, throwing it, and then we're at his dad's funeral, and he and the family go to the care center. There is a chapel inside where the visitation is
Hmm.
held. He's crying at the casket, and the G is just sitting a couple rows back, looking just furious.
Yeah.
Um, and then Michael says, "They told me what happened," and he says that they told him she just let him die. Okay. He says that she's on her own. She says that Chip moved them, her and Chip, to this hell on earth to be closer to Michael, which apparently they weren't super close,
Right.
as happens. Tells tells him that Chip was ashamed of him his whole life. Michael storms out. The wife says the G is mean. Emma stays back, says Michael really was trying to get them out, asks why the G didn't call, says she'll come to see her whether she likes it or not, and then walks out. Uh, Back in the apartment, the G is sitting alone in the kitchen and she starts crying. Now we have a black truck driving. We have a bearded fellow, a pickup truck, let's be specific. We got a bearded fellow behind the wheel, the Texas plate. And there's a voice, Chips, asks what she's going to do now. Um, and then we cut to her and she says, "You mean now that they've unlocked the door?" And then she starts tossing meds away. And it's kind of a weird transition
It is.
scene. Um, so the guy meets her in the yard, and he is Jack's son. Jack, who she had wanted to get the message to, is apparently dead. So the son is taking up on that. Asks if she's going to stay there. She says just until she castrates those pig fuckers. Later, we see the van, apparently bringing more victims in. The G is outside smoking when it pulls up. She follows the guardian inside. Jack's son is pulling up to her old place. One of the dudes from earlier is parked in the street watching the condo.
Mm-hmm.
And inside is all fucked up.
Oh,
All
yeah.
kinds of, I mean, just, oh
There's
man.
holes punched in the walls like they've been looking everywhere for money.
Yeah, it's just almost been gutted. So, and then he picks up, because I was looking down, I looked up and I saw him pick it up, and it looked like he picked up shit with a plastic bag,
Yeah, I'm not sure what it was he picked up.
like an animal got in or something. I mean, anyway, uh, and then he leaves. The dude outside follows Jack's son. We cut back to the G. She's following the Guardian. And then we're back to the dude in the car. He's like behind the guy flashing his brights, but Jack's son doesn't stop. Um, Back at the center, the G goes into a room, and it seems like it's an infirmary that she
Yeah.
goes in. And there's a woman there, and she asks the woman what she wants. And the woman is just covered in sores,
Yeah.
like bed sores, just bad. Um, and then the G leaves when she hears a noise. We cut back to Jack's son. He pulls over and drops the bag of shit in a garbage can and then walks into a building, but turns out he kind of like walks down a bit and there's a door to the parking garage. So the dude that's following him follows inside, and he's leaning around a corner to get a good look, and then Jack's son sneaks up behind him and pins his hand to the wall with a knife.
Yeah.
And then we cut to the G, who's smoking, um, sees a light signal out of her window, and it's Jack's son. So she goes out. He explains that The dude, that whole situation, uh, the condo has been sold and has been wrecked. Tells him there's nothing he can do for her. So he leaves. She runs into Joseph, asks, he asks if she came from the maintenance door in the back. There's someone waiting there now.
Hmm.
And then he tells her to go inside. He doesn't want them to hurt her as well. And she thanks him.
So then Emma is in the G's unit in the nursing home, her little apartment.
Yeah.
And she says she wants to be real with G. She knows the doctor was in on it, wants to know why they think she had money. And G is like, how did you get in here? And she says that she can get her out.
Mm-hmm.
Emma says she can get G out.
Right.
And she's kind of doing this whole like, I don't know why you're still here. You don't take shit from anyone. What are you doing here? And G is very like nonchalant about it. And so Emma gets, all fired up. Says she's going to get her out just to piss her off.
Yeah.
So she brought the child's drawing from their other apartment.
Mm-hmm.
And G says, thank you. This is important to me.
Yeah.
And then she tells Emma that her money is safe, but stay out of it. She doesn't need help. So Emma meets Matt for their date, and he has keys to all these places that he works for.
Yeah.
So they go into this building, and he says they're going to have a picnic, and it's very dodgy, right? She's sort of weirded out, but he brings her to this indoor pool, and he strips down naked and jumps in, and then he starts doggy paddling.
Yeah. Bless his little heart.
I know. It's not a very it's not a great look.
It's not a good look. Doggy paddling is hard to pull off. And yeah, there was nothing about what he was doing that could be spun into, oh, how adorable. It just looks sad.
Yeah.
But he was happy.
Right? I mean, she explains to him during their whole conversation and this that G lent her money. Or no, she gave G some of her money.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And then G kind of like was giving her some interest in installments.
It was college money.
Yeah.
And G was holding on to it and was giving her interest on it to do the things that she needed to do, but keeping the money safe.
Right. So she doesn't want to get in with him in the pool.
Yeah.
And they have a nice little time.
Yeah.
So then the G goes to Joseph's apartment and says she needs sugar for her tea. He lets her in, but he won't let her smoke in his place. And he's got a couple of shotguns on the wall.
Mm-hmm.
She takes one down and, fiddles with it a bit. And then she tells him the story about her being kidnapped as a little girl.
Yeah.
Her father had a lot of enemies, and the guys beat her every day for weeks and left her on the side of the road, nearly dead.
Well, they came and kidnapped her.
Yeah.
Because they were wanting to get back at her dad.
Mm-hmm. Someone found her and brought her to the hospital, and she survived. And her family told her, or her mom, I think, told her being kidnapped was God's punishment for her swearing.
Yeah. And just to make sense of that, you think I swear a lot on this podcast? Let me tell you what, the G, she can keep that name, the G.
Yeah.
She is the grand mistress because, whew.
Yeah. So she tells Joseph she wants to be friends, and he says that she makes him nervous. So then Emma and Matt are talking about G, and this is where she tells him about giving her savings and getting interest every week.
Mm-hmm.
Their interaction's cute. They make out. Then we kind of jump back and forth, with G and Joseph, and he's telling her about a guy who was there before, and he was a soldier. He was a no nonsense. He made trouble. And he disappeared. And I think this is the guy who we saw being buried at the beginning of this film.
I do believe, yeah.
Yeah. It's intimated that
he was just vanished.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he tells G that she's a firecracker. And then he starts massaging her shoulders, and it's a little, I don't know, awkward.
Yeah, because she asks, what are you doing? He just keeps rubbing her shoulders. And then she's kind of like, hmm,
Hmm.
that's all right.
And then they're sleeping together. So this is Dale Dickey's sex scene
Yep.
in the middle of this movie. So then later she's smoking while he's sleeping next to her. And she's telling him she isn't a nice person. She's an okay wife, but a lousy nurse the past few years. And before that, she was a lousy parent. She says that she was impatient and cruel. And she's telling Joseph that he got her all mixed up today. She doesn't usually like talking. And he tells her that he thinks she's amazing. So then Emma is, I think, in Matt's room.
Yeah, they're at his
She's with
place because
Matt.
she's living with her parents.
Yeah.
We kind of glazed over it. We learn early on that she lost her job.
Mm-hmm.
She's
She quit her job.
She quit her job, and she's at home living with her mom and stepdad.
Mm-hmm.
And that was her line was, jobless. I'm living at home with my parents, and men want to watch me pee. That's my life.
Yeah. Um, so she's telling Matt she hates going back to him, who is the judge who she was working for.
Mm-hmm.
Who was supposed to give her a recommendation before her life blew up because he was like hitting on her and stuff.
Yeah.
And Matt tells her to take something for protection, a gun. So she's going to go talk to this judge to try and get G out.
Right.
She's going to try and leverage him. And it's really interesting, this interaction that he's just like, take something for protection. He indicates a nightstand drawer and she pulls a gun out of it. And I'm like, that's a fascinating interaction. Like, you sleep with someone that you just met, basically.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, take my nightstand gun.
He's a good guy, I guess.
So the judge asked her, she's there now, is asking her what she wants. He tells her that he missed her. He wants her to come back and work for him. And she says yes. And then he says that he'll make some calls about G. And he tells her that she'll make this up to him. Ugh.
Yeah. And then when she gets outside, she's just like that. I wrote flabbergasted, but there's like a whole mix there. She did really well in visually portraying all of the things, like just the ugh and the and just that whole shit scenario.
Yeah, she's a phenomenal actor, this
Emma.
Yeah. And then there's someone following her on the street, and it is the son of Jack.
Yes.
He loses her down an alleyway, and then she ends up pulling that gun on him. He puts his hand up. He explains that he's a friend of the G. And she asked him to keep an eye on Emma. And then when he turns around, Emma's gone.
Mm-hmm.
So then we see G hanging the drawing on her fridge. And she asks Joseph what's in room 203. And he explains that it's palliative life and end of care. Or palliative end of life care.
Right.
Which is, I think, that medical area she was in.
Yeah.
They call it the departure lounge.
Yeah.
So this is where they like kill people, basically. So she sneaks in when they're no longer like financially functional for them. So she sneaks in with her knife, and there's like an orderly washing someone's feet and humming. And then she leaves. So then we see Emma being watched by Jack's son, who I just called Ginger.
Yeah.
Because we don't really get his name. So he calls G and says they need to talk about Emma. Because Emma is meeting with Rivera, who is the guardian.
Yeah, and I just keep calling him the guardian.
And he's telling her it's just business for him. And she's telling him he wants her to give back what he stole. She kind of warns him that G has friends he doesn't know about. And they want him to know. They know where his son goes to school. And he says, there are no friends that he doesn't know about. And Emma is, I think, bluffing, right?
Mm-hmm.
About this. Because she goes out and panics in her car, like throwing up into a bag.
Yeah. And then we cut to the G, who is telling Joseph about seeing the foot washing and talks about how she let her husband down. She tells him her family were also bad people. She's done bad things herself. And she wanted to pay the guardian and the others back for what they've done, but now she just wants to make sure nothing happens to Emma.
Mm-hmm.
Tells Joseph that she's leaving, and then we cut to the guardian doing something with a check for, I thought it was 25 grand.
It's 125.
Yeah, it's 125. And made out to the G. And then we cut to Jack's son, who walks up to a dude in a car outside of the guardian's office and shoots him. The guardian hears the horn honk as the body falls on it, calls the dude in the car. Dude doesn't answer, obviously. Then we see Jack's son walking towards the office down the hallway. The door's open when he gets there. He goes in and it's empty.
Mm-hmm.
But he does see the check.
Yeah.
And he takes it. So then we cut to Emma's parents. Two masked men are at the door as Michael answers the doorbell. Jack's son brought the check to the G. She says she doesn't need his help. He says, too late. He asks about the thing that she needs to pick up. She says she'll get it herself. Tells her his dad said she was the angriest person he'd ever met, meaning Jack said that about her. So then we cut to Emma. She gets home. She goes inside, calls for her mom, goes into the kitchen. Bam, masked man. So he takes her purse and the gun, walks her upstairs. Mom and dad are in the bedroom. They are tied up and hooded. Blah, 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 blah. And then they just shoot her dad in the head, or stepdad. One takes her down into the kitchen to talk. Takes 2 hard-boiled eggs out of the fridge and then sits and peels them. Upstairs, the other masked guy is freaking out. And downstairs...
It's Matt.
He takes this mask that's right.
Off.
Yeah.
It's Matt.
Yeah. The guy upstairs, it's Matt. So downstairs, the masked guy is asking about the hidden money, says he'll blow a hole in Emma's mom's face next. Emma says she'll go to see the G to get any money. Masked guy that we're talking to is the dude whose hand was stabbed by Jack's son earlier. So it's daytime at the facility. The guy who was washing feet that we saw brings the G some food and flowers from management. She knows he's the one who fixed Chip's feet and thanks him for it. There's a knock. It's Emma. The G gives her a key, tells Emma if she gets her mom back to go to the place to meet her there. Okay. Tells Emma to be careful. She's the only family she has left. In the car, Emma has a map that's on the back of that kid's drawing.
Yeah.
It's where the money is, apparently. So the G tells Joseph there's been a setback, but she's leaving anyway, asks if he'll leave with her. He says she can't go anywhere with no money. So we cut to Emma and Matt. They're at some old, I thought it was an old house, but it's kind of like an old building.
Yeah.
One of those weird, out of the way, like an industrial area that never came to be.
Right.
And long deserted. So she's in there rummaging around and finds a box. Well, there's not money in the box. Fucking diamonds.
Yeah.
2 bags.
What's more than that? It's several bags of diamonds.
Was it several? Because I just saw the... Okay. Because I know they took
2 out.
Yeah. And put the rest back. Matt actually takes them and sticks them back up into the ceiling. So she's like, what are you doing? He's like, that's enough.
Yeah.
And puts it up there. Says that he'll just give them the 1 bag and they can come back to get the rest for themselves. Emma says it can't. It belongs to the G. And then a car pulls up. And then we cut back to the G. Joseph has been spying for the Guardian. We get that confession. And he did it because he was afraid. Which, you can... It's hard to fault characters like this.
Yeah.
I mean, you're in a position where literally you can do nothing.
Right.
Right? So at what point do you expect someone in that situation to like wake up suddenly Captain fucking America
I
and be able to,
know.
it's a terrible situation.
It is.
Um, so now we cut back. Emma's tied up. Guardian's telling her that he knows the G was a terrible person and is now threatening his family. Um, the Guardian has his crony kill Matt. And then we cut to the G. She's packing. Then we come back to Hand Dude, the guy with the wounded hand. I just call him Hand Dude. And another one come in. The G kills one. And Hand Dude knocks her out. Now she's in the palliative care unit, and the Guardian is there, telling her if people come again, if her people come again, he'll be ready. Tells her he shot Emma. Uh, Says he filed the G's death certificate already. So when she wakes up under the sand, remember who put her there.
Yeah.
And then he injects her. In that, she sees Chip, recounts Emma telling her how they should get the conversation they had in the car, how they should get out of the city. We learn.
Go to Buffalo.
Yeah, go to Buffalo. So we learn the G has two daughters. Both hate her and don't talk to her. She used to take her grandson to some place. I missed where she took him, but they, had a grand old time. It's a special place. And her grandson is the one who drew the picture. And then we see Hand Dude covering her face with sand. Then she wakes up.
Yeah.
Joseph is there. He says he hit him. I'm guessing the Guardian.
Yeah.
Yeah. And stuffed him in a closet. The G retrieves a handgun from her bags. Hand Dude is outside. G steps out, shoots him in the head, and then twice more in the face.
Right.
And that's actually kind of cool because they showed it.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll come around to that. Tells Joseph to get the Guardian and bring him outside. So the Guardian is knocked out, but he's waking up. He's been zip tied and put in the trunk. She drives out to that old building.
Mm-hmm.
Tells Joseph to pull the Guardian out of the trunk, take off his shoes and socks. She goes in, gets the box, finds the bags, diamonds.
She's very relieved that those 2 bags are still there.
Yeah. Guardian is on the ground, tied and gagged. He's barefoot. She asks, "Do you remember my husband?" And then she shoots him in both knees.
Uh-huh.
God damn. And then walks away.
Yeah. She told him it's cold, but you might last a day out here.
Let's see. Later, she's pulling up to a hotel. Emma's inside. Goes out to tell Joseph she forgives him, but he almost cost her granddaughter, so she can't take him with her. She left him some money in the room. She and Emma drive off. In the car, she hands Emma the 125 grand check, and Emma asks where they're going, and the G says, Buffalo. Done. That's the movie.
That's it.
Some things to unpack here.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Shall we?
Let's do it. So my first note on this film is that the trailer we watched portrayed, I feel, a different film than the one that we saw.
I would agree.
Yeah. So I want to just examine that a bit.
Sure.
Because, we liked this film overall. I want to make that clear.
Yes.
But from the trailer, I felt like we were getting, or that we were going to get, like a Dale Dickey action film.
Sort of like a Bourne.
The Bourne Granny.
Yeah. The BG.
The BG.
That's fair.
And what we ended up with in this film is more of an examination of a societal problem portrayed through the lens of, of the thriller genre, kind of.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Which, there's nothing wrong with that. It just, after we watched it, we were both like, huh, That was not exactly what I was expecting from this film.
Right. My adrenaline didn't get ramped
No,
like I was expecting.
no, it wasn't like a fast paced ride.
Yeah.
It moved at like things were happening pretty quickly,
Yeah, there were no slowdowns.
but it wasn't actiony.
No. And well, let's talk about the message.
Yeah,
There's nothing wrong. I mean, that's what art is really about, is expressing, whether it's something internal or you want to like get a message across. And Lord knows 99% of all films are message based in one way or
right.
another. And the other 1% is just, whimsical, fun, random shit.
Well, let's correct that. Independent films.
Independent films. Well, no, even the big, the A-lister stuff.
Not all of it, though.
No, but when you get any kind of thriller or drama, there's like something, right? They're
Mhm.
making a point to something, maybe not as heavy handed
Yeah.
as an indie film. Um, I so like you said, like the film,
Yeah.
but I was disappointed because it didn't deliver what I was expecting based on the trailer and with the log line,
Right.
right? But the message about this horrible thing that goes, and this does happen,
Oh, all the time.
it takes nothing, almost nothing, to go into a court and get court orders for this and that and the other things. And
Yeah.
this is like taking kids away from their parents when, I mean, yes, there are cases when that's warranted. Usually though, those don't happen when they should,
I know.
and it happens when they shouldn't. I mean, that's sort of the dichotomy of our fucking society. But this whole thing is basically elder abuse,
It is.
you know. Um to just swoop in and then get everybody's assets and stuff. And, I'm
And
not
then
gonna
shove them in somewhere where you can basically forget about them
right. Um
until their money runs out.
and that a lot of these homes, and I'm not gonna piss on them because there are some that, do really well, but more often than not, they're kind of a shambles.
Here is what happens. I can tell you from direct experience working with homes like these.
Yes.
The staff in the homes with the RNs, CNAs, often the administrator, the nurses, they all do care. That's why they do what they do.
Mm-hmm.
They're not intentionally abusing patients.
Right.
Where that comes in generally is with the ownership of nursing homes, who to them, they don't see people, they see dollars.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
And they will not give the staff or the home the resources needed to properly take care of the residents in those homes. And so there is this continual power struggle. And there is, in fact, currently a lawsuit against owners of like many nursing homes
Mm-hmm.
who have what's the word? They've taken money from like Medicare and Medicaid that helps pay for their care in the homes, and they subcontract overpriced services to go in and perform these so they satisfy the requirements of Medicare and Medicaid, within quotes.
Right.
But what's actually happening is they're siphoning off the money.
Well, and these overpriced services are often tertiary
Yeah.
enterprises.
Cleaning services
Yeah,
for the home cost
they're
5 times as much as they should.
yeah, they're paying their subsidiaries
Mm-hmm.
or
And
other
they own
companies,
the cleaning company.
yeah, to go in and do that. So they're paying themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah. To talk about these people who work there, I'll say 99%, never go 100, because we know there are places where people are just like the
Dicks.
fucking worst.
Yeah.
In the worst cases. But for the most part, these people are doing it because they do care. Because let me tell you, these are not high paying jobs
They're not.
in nursing homes.
They're
These care
very
facilities.
stressful jobs.
They're very stressful jobs. They have no backing. I mean, it's just them against the world trying to take care of these folks in their, shadow.
And often them
hours.
against their own ownership.
Yeah. Your boss's boss is trying to put the heel to everything that you do.
Mm-hmm.
So how can you keep doing it? And bless them, they keep
Trying.
Um, But at that level, it is because in here it does mention the Guardian mentions that his boss is, and we saw pictures. I knew he would come up because we saw a picture, a placard, reelect so and so. His boss is a fucking senator.
Yeah.
And they don't get into the whole thing, but he just makes it, it makes it very clear. Like you can do what you want, say what you want, but you're going to get fucked hard in the end, and
Right.
it's not going to work. So, in fact, probably come after you for something in some sort of weird way. So, with the message, there's nothing wrong with getting a message across. I think this probably wasn't so much a thriller. I think it would have been
A drama.
a drama and sold as it, and probably I would have tweaked a couple things to make it more drama based. Because in a drama, you can have moderate action stuff. You can have this kind of stuff,
Yeah.
right? I mean, a drama isn't just, oh, how sad,
Right. It's not a tragedy.
right? And I think though, if you're going to have something with a message, you need to kind of stick to what you're portraying it, and you have to make that sacrifice. There's a point where you can, we've got the message. This is what the problem is. And then, like, if we're going thriller or action thriller, okay, well, now we've established the message and the problem, but this is how, like, the one-off is going to deal with it, right? The wrong guy, the wrong woman, the wrong person got fucked over. So then it becomes this other thing. It becomes the genre,
Right.
right? But we've already cemented it. So as the audience, we're on for the ride. We know why it's happening, and we're like, "Ooh, yeah, fuck these guys."
Yeah.
Right? If you are going to run the message the whole way through, I wouldn't try to complicate it with something like a thriller. I wouldn't try to complicate it. It's a message piece, and I'm fine with those when they're done well. I mean, there's some that we've seen that's like, really, this was almost just somebody talking and bitching about the problem. And
Birdemic?
yeah, and very little like real story or acting or anything going on.
Yeah.
It was just more like a UW lecture for 115 minutes.
Yeah.
So I guess that's the only real down point.
Yeah. And I will say, like, what you can learn from that basically is here's what I suspect happened. It might not be what actually happened, but in our, limited knowledge and experience of stuff, what'll happen is the distributor, right? The filmmakers are not the distributors.
Right.
The distributor pushes for a more like zhezhi, a more like, intense kind of trailer.
Mm-hmm.
And so it gets to the point where what you're advertising isn't actually what, and they do that so that they sell more,
well, yeah,
films.
Yeah.
So they get more watches on streaming. So they get more whatever, is because that trailer is what sucks people in.
Well, yeah, every distributor is guilty of the bait and switch.
Yes.
Because it's marketing.
Yeah.
Right.
And it is, I would say, probably 90% of the time, if not more, the distributor doing that.
Yeah. And I mean, for people like us, it pisses people off, right? But they got the view.
Yeah.
They got that click. Netflix will give them their 2.5 cents.
Right.
Or whatever, or whoever it's on. And yeah, there's nothing you can do about it. Distributors have single-handedly ruined films. David
It's true.
Has gone on and on and on about Redwood Massacre and stuff, on how he's just been like
dicked.
Yeah, ham-fistedly fucked by distributors, some of which haven't paid him a dime.
Yeah.
Right. That brings up we're not going to get into it, but I think we should try to put together a roundtable.
Okay.
Of our filmmaking friends and just talk about distribution, because what people don't understand. Ooh, we're still going.
We had a flicker.
We had a power flicker. Yeah, everything's still rocking. People don't understand, because I just read this post about a guy who's doing this. He's like, I did this feature film, completely indie, kind of almost like a solo. He was the crew.
Sure.
He was the writer, the director, the producer, and he did the lighting and the sound and all this stuff. And it's been out there, but it's been, I think, 4 or 5 years. And he still hasn't seen a fucking dime, because the way these distribution deals are worked out, this thing could go gangbusters. And he's hit like topping this, topping that. And he's like, I'm still waiting to get paid.
Yep.
And that's a problem. It's something I think we need to discuss, because I think indie film, I think that could be wrestled away. Because there are people who have done their own distribution. It's a long and nightmarish. And David will be the first to say, I keep putting up with it because fucking nightmare trying to
Yeah.
get out there, But anyway, we'll move past that. Yeah, I was expecting Dale to come out
Guns a blazing.
just guns a blazing, and if there was anyone who could pull it off, is her.
Is Dale Dickey.
She is just
She's like the
so
quintessential tough old bitch.
she is, and she can be so funny too.
No.
I there is not she is not in enough stuff.
I
I'll
know.
just say that.
She's massively underrated.
Yeah, she is just a pool of excellent talent that can go all directions. Um and it was just, yeah, it was great watching her. I would have enjoyed the film more if I wasn't holding that expectation of
Yeah.
here it comes. And then as the clock kept ticking, I'm like, well, we're getting towards the end here.
Yeah. When's gonna be our big action sequence?
Yeah. It's like, now or never.
Yeah.
we're pulling into the gate.
Right.
This is it. Flight's over. Shit. So other than that, I mean, the technical stuff, I don't have anything to complain about because everything was top notch. I mean, it was complete studio level sound, lighting, and everything. I do want to talk about the coloring.
Okay.
Because coloring is where you can just really shit can an otherwise brilliantly produced film.
It felt like so they didn't mention the location of the film, right? It's just somewhere.
Yeah.
In a city, but it felt very like Detroit-y.
It did. The way it was done, the internal shots with her, with Emma, they were very warm.
Mm-hmm.
The coloring was very warm. And like then when she was with Joseph talking, it wasn't as warm.
Right.
Right? There was just something about the coloring of the whole thing that let you know this is kind of outside of that box. The things with the doofuses and the guardian and the bad guys.
Yeah.
That was a different kind of coloring. They really, made it the outside stuff, even like the alley in the middle of town, very industrially.
Mm-hmm.
It really did make me think of Detroit, maybe even Pennsylvania.
Yeah, it might have been
outside
Pittsburgh.
Of Pittsburgh,
Yeah,
because that's a heavy industrial kind of thing. It to me, it worked very well, scene by scene, cut by cut, chapter by chapter, if you want. Keeping the feel of the film in the moment.
Yeah.
Right. So when we cut to something, you notice the coloring first. You notice what's going on the screen before there's talking, before you see all the people involved. But you're already like preset to this is like comfort. This is out of the bubble of chaos and stuff, and this is like a moment of real.
Yeah.
Whether it's like romance or whatever the movie is going on. I think it all played really, really well.
Yeah, I mean, the cinematography was great. The sound was great. The acting was great. There were, I think this film would be a good one to watch if you want to see what awkward transitions look like.
Yeah.
Because there were several very awkward, weird transitions that didn't quite work.
I mean, yeah, they could have been cut. And a lot of it, this is where, I guess, let's talk editing, because that's what transitions are. There are people who that's their job, editor.
Mm-hmm.
There's a reason for that. And I've said many times, not to diminish anybody, but, a monkey can do any of this. But doing it well, that's not a monkey.
Right.
Right? I can cut video together. I mean, it's not that fucking hard.
I've made I don't know how many graduation videos and photo slide videos and little clip videos.
Yeah.
But I'm not an editor.
Well, no, and putting together like our Georgia trip and stuff, which still is so much to put together.
Oh, so much.
But I mean, to put it together in a cohesive, I have an understanding of it and I know film editing, but I'm not an editor. I'm not going to pretend to put myself at a level of any of these people. And I want to bring it up because I'm seeing a lot of AI stuff. And I want to just bring this up. So I saw somebody post, and this is like a big thing on Instagram. this AI plugin edited this in 2 minutes and I still charge my hourly rate. I actually responded back and said, so you're committing fraud.
Right.
You are fraudulently charging customers. I hope everyone recognizes your handle and your name and, fucks you into oblivion and you never work again. Right? Because I think it's bullshit. Anyway, I just wanted to point that out. So, folks, if that's your bag, well, I'm not on your camp. I hope you get fucked hard for it, because editing is a hard job. And to do something like that diminishes the work that these people do and the years they put in to hone their craft.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And to piss on it like that. Anyway. Yeah, I don't know what happened here. And this is one of those things. Did the editor fuck this up, or did the distributor? Because the distributor has the right to go in and edit.
Right.
There are some films we've talked about in the past that the creator was like, I don't even know what this movie's about. They cut this here and they moved it over here. It's kind of like what they did with like Firefly.
Yeah.
Right? Whedon didn't have any control over it, even though he was supposed to have it. But the studio stepped in and they cut the things up, put them backwards. Shit didn't make sense.
And that happens so often.
Yes.
That the book I'm reading is about writers and actors and stuff. And they do this improv show together. It's entirely improv. It's kind of like it's not a sketch show, but it's a totally improvised show.
Sure.
They filmed one scripted episode that was like a backstory episode. And what happened was the studio put that episode first. And then put the rest of the show after, which is all improvised.
Right.
And so it's like 180-degree tone shift.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
As opposed to putting it in the middle where you're like, okay, I know what's going on with the show. Oh, this is a different episode. This is about backstory. I understand this. And then you continue on with the show.
Yeah.
So they just fucked it
mm-hmm.
right away, right out of the gate, and doomed the show.
You know what's funny? These are people who don't actually, like distributors, they don't know film. They do not. They know marketing.
Yeah.
Right? And that means they could have been marketing for a florist company before they jumped into this. It's not transferable.
Right.
Okay? Acting skills are transferable, whether you're stage,
mm-hmm.
film, television, doing commercials.
Yeah.
I mean, acting is acting, right? You can take that anywhere. You can take it as a voice reader.
Yeah.
Right? Or a voice actor.
I just think it's so funny that happens so often that it's like written into books about
that is funny.
Making shows. Yeah.
So that's kind of the thing, is like, who did this? How did this happen?
Mm-hmm.
I know from William Shatner, listening to his Star Trek memories, over and over and over again, all these years, how you can be confronted in a situation where you have to take the hard, awkward cut. There is no way to get out of this jam. Something happens, the film didn't work or something like that. You've got nothing to do. You have to end this scene and you have to move to this scene. And either fate or something took all of your options away.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what you're stuck with. And we have seen people in interviews like, oh, this movie, but this scene, oh, I hate that fucking scene.
I know.
If it wasn't for the fact that it was like the scene that made the whole movie, I would have just cut this shit out.
Yeah.
But you can't, because then you just cut the whole story out, kind of thing. So there are those hard moments. But I do think it could have been tightened. And going back to the editing comes down to milliseconds,
mm-hmm.
not chunks.
Right.
Right? It's a millisecond. It's when to cut that transition. So if you're doing like a fade or you're doing a blur, there are, the people who are the masters at this, you just want to celebrate them.
Oh, I know.
That nth of a second can make a huge difference. But then when you've got something that my watch is going off.
Yeah.
Because it lists. I don't even care anymore. I got too much shit to do to worry about stuff. I do feel like the editing could have been tighter in the
mm-hmm.
transitions. And I don't really have one that comes to mind that I want to go on, but there are things where I'm going to use The Keep as an example.
Okay.
So The Keep, an old movie. Young listeners, you aren't going to have a fucking clue what I'm talking about. I love this movie. I've chased this movie forever and ever because it was not available on video because of back alley arguments and rights and this and that. But when it came out, I mean, how many times did I watch it over and over and over again?
Oh, a bunch of times.
I know. I love it. I love it. Music by Tangerine Dream. Um, Ian McClellan. We have. Uh, it's just going too much. Gabriel
Nice one.
Byrne.
There you go.
Yeah. Anyway, there's a scene in there where there's a hard scene that comes off. It takes place during World War II and this old Romanian thing. It's kind of a supernatural deal. And it's also adapted from a book. But what I love about it is the scene that was playing out, the music, the dialogue, everything, the sound kept going, and they cut to it's like a glass of water and then like a bobble kind of like
Yeah.
on the screen. And that's there for like 5 solid seconds as that music finishes playing out. And then we jump from that. That was excellent. And we've kind of mentioned before, if you don't know what to do, shoot something and put it in. Shoot something that can be, put someone's hand on a table, tap in their fingers, right? If this is going to be, this upcoming scene is kind of a stressy thing, then do it. Do that B cut, right?
Yeah.
And you can do that anytime. You can be like, oh, this needs something. Well, get somebody in and do a hand thing. Beep, beep, beep. You know, I'm tapping the table, folks, because that's how I do radio. There we go.
Gentle taps.
So editing can make a huge difference. Otherwise, everything else flowed nicely. There were no, like I said, slowdowns.
Right. Yeah, and I don't want it to sound like we're hanging this film out to dry because we're definitely not. I really, really enjoyed it.
No.
It's just that this is the first one in a while where we're able to talk about these kind of like actual technical, like here's how you bring something that works to something that's actually really great.
Yes.
Which is, to be fair, kind of difficult when you're talking about like homegrown, made on a, video camera kind of films.
Right. And
not like experimental films like the last one we did.
St. Bernard.
That's the one.
Yeah. Yeah. Those rules are very different.
Yes.
That movie visually was a fucking masterpiece, right? It was chaotic and uncomfortable. It was questioning. It was a lot of things, everything it was supposed to be. And yeah, can't complain about that. But I would say with the editing, yeah, it comes down to how much can you cut out of a scene? Because I've seen video of stuff where people who are giving tips and stuff, these are, Hollywood studio folks.
Yeah.
Who are on how to edit a word, just a single word. And that's not easy. It's not easy. There's a lot of sound mixing and shit. You don't just put the bar there and then cut and put the ends together, right? You got to blend the sound in and stuff. But they can pull out like a single word in a sentence that makes it flow better, makes it more understandable. And then how that transitions into the next thing. And it is easy to talk about with a film like this.
Yes.
But we've talked about, yes, with indie film, you work with what you can. But if you have any money, we've talked about the things that you put in for. First of all, craft services, feed your people, right? Because most of them are working for nothing or very little.
Yeah.
So
second, sound.
Sound is the most important. You can have the worst camera. You could have a shaky tripod. You could do all kinds of shit. But if you have solid sound, you have 80% of your film locked in. And that is going to make editing easier. That's going to make, storyboarding the finished product. And if you hear it, it's not seeing it so much, it's hearing it. Because we've talked about how, like long scenes, like a whole lot of nothing. If there's no sound, if there's nothing bringing us in there, then it's boring as shit. And it's like, and some people do that to fill, but you've got to have something.
Right.
And we'll come back to music because I got something important to say about music too. So sound and then lighting is the next thing. Because again, even with a bad camera, if you got good sound, and you've got that lighting nailed, okay. And then the last thing is, no post, know your post,
Yeah.
right? And if you don't know how to do it, but you know someone who does, let them do it, right? But there's some folks who've got to be the be all end all of it. And we understand that. That's what indie film is.
Yeah.
It is what it is. But yeah, this was a good example of stuff that is, studio level and the difference it can make. But even then, it's not perfect.
Yeah.
Like you said, the transitions were awkward. And that's, it tripped me up try,
Sorry?
trying to, well, no, when I was reading it,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, because that transition it's the cadence of me reading what was happening was
Yeah.
abruptly, the next sentence was like, there was no transition to it,
Yeah.
which can be hard to take notes.
It can make it hard. This was not the most difficult to take notes on, but it was difficult.
I had 5 full pages,
Yeah.
and a lot of it you
Condensed.
condensed, yeah. But yeah, there was a lot of stuff I wanted to catch.
Yeah.
I didn't have to speak to it, but it was like in the beginning, I wrote, "We're 20 minutes in, and I am not at all sorry for the use of screen time. This is good."
Yeah.
A lot of that has to do with Dale Dickey, her presence
I know, right?
on the screen. And we've talked about a few in the past we've covered where the actor is just doesn't matter. It could be a hemorrhoid commercial that goes for a solid hour. I'm in because this particular actor just fucking has it.
Yeah, there are some people who are just special
Yeah.
that way.
And that's just how it is.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean everyone else is shit and
No.
it's stuff. And but yeah, I would look at her on screen forever.
Yeah.
So the editing could have been a little tighter. Like I said, the sound I didn't have to question. I didn't have to. The only time we had to stop and I had to go back is because there was just so much being said at once.
Yes.
And it's like, okay,
Right.
we got to go
Like a
back.
billion things just happened in the last 5 seconds. We need to
Yeah, and I want
pause
to make
and
sure I address them, structurally.
yeah.
The story structure was good. Um,
There's a clear act 1, act 2, act 3.
yeah. But as far as story, I think the big pitfall is Dale Dickey was advertised to us, and we've had some of the quotes as we went through it on her history, her family, these families of people, and this is all West Texas.
Mm-hmm.
It is a very sorry, it was like a bug landed on me. I scooshed it like right under my nose. Uh, I wanted more.
Yeah.
I wanted more. Um, and I was looking a little forward to it.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like I get some of that lifestyle. I want to see what you're bringing to it.
Right.
What's your West Texas version of this kind of thing? And we just didn't get it.
I know.
Like, who's Jack?
Right.
Right? What's Jack's son? Why is it so important that he follows through what his dad does? And what's
We
the
just got like
difference?
vague,
Yeah.
sort of overtures toward it. But nothing ever coalesced into anything concrete, really.
No. And what this reminds me of is Highlander 2.
Okay.
So Highlander 2 was just a debacle, right? All of a sudden they're fucking aliens instead of, immortals and this whole thing. And it just spun it until someone decided to cut all that shit out and no reference to any of it. And
Yeah.
you know what? Different movie, different feel, and you didn't miss any of it.
Nope.
I feel like we could have cut out if I had this on a file, I could load it up and go through and I could remove every mention of this West Texas and her backstory altogether and her talking about her life.
Mm-hmm.
Even that whole brilliant thing about her being kidnapped.
Right.
Cut all that out. It would not have tonally changed the movie.
Right.
The movie would still be about these people and this. And really what it would have become was, the G is just someone who's not going to take it.
Yeah. I mean, we could have even cut out the entire character of Joseph.
Joseph could have been cut out.
Mm-hmm.
And
Emma's family, the dad and mom could have been cut out.
I mean, I would have kept him in. I wouldn't have put so much time into him, but they would have the red shirts,
Sure.
right? Someone's got to go. They got to fridge somebody. Bring them
Yeah.
in so they can get killed as a motivator to terrorize. But it could just be. I think it might have sold me a little more if it wasn't sold as a thriller and expecting her to come out and just fuck things up Marvel style.
Right. And more just as like a dark drama.
A dark drama, but the story being this is what happens when you can push even like the
Sweet old ladies.
sweet old lady too far,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because everyone has that capacity, and I think that would be the one thing that would have elevated this a little bit because it would have just removed that expectation from me.
Yeah.
And that's only the really like drawback
Mm-hmm.
is it just didn't pay off for what I was. The bill of sale wasn't the same as the product,
Yeah.
you know. Um, but good sound, didn't no mumbly mouth,
Right.
which is the acting was great. Uh, the young woman who plays Emma, I hope we see her
Oh yeah.
all over the place.
Yeah, she was great.
Um, I want to talk about her in a moment, but I wanted to bring up music.
Sure.
Okay. Uh, not every moment of this film was scored,
No.
right? And where it was appropriate. And yeah, you're paying someone to do a thing. But I just want to mention, because you had mentioned this a couple episodes ago,
Okay.
silence is okay.
It is. Yeah.
And that came from the micro budget, no budget indie films. The trend has been for the last 10 years, because we've gone back to, the mid teens, right? Just because you know somebody who's in a band,
Yeah.
not every second of your fucking movie needs to be that band's music playing.
It does not.
And for me, and this is a personal thing, but I don't feel like I'm alone with this. But that particular brand of, I don't even know what they call it anymore. It's a mix of death metal, grunge,
Yeah.
all just sounds, and
Garage band shit.
screaming. Yeah. I don't need 90 minutes of that in a 90-minute film.
That's true.
And more importantly, I can think of, well, not too many. If I gave it 5 minutes, I bet I could count on one hand the number of films where that all actually worked.
Yeah.
The rest of it is distracting, noisy, and also comes, I don't know if it's like part of the package, but people who do that also don't know how to do sound mixing and don't understand levels
God.
because we get this
It's true.
shit band music just screaming at you. And, we've complained about it. Like this, it could have been all right, but I didn't know what half the fucking movie was. And I'm not going to watch it in subtitles because they're
Yeah.
playing their brothers, friends, sisters, cousins, whatever band music.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't fit the vibe, doesn't set the mood, doesn't do
Right.
anything. A good example recently, Christmas Bloodshed.
Oh, Bloodbath.
Bloodbath. God damn. See, that movie's so bad I can't even get the fucking name right.
It was very bad.
Yeah, it just didn't that whole thing just didn't work. That was just a cobbled together sort of mess.
I know.
We have talked about it. Go out, SoundCloud. Go to SoundCloud. Listen to some things that fit the genre that you're looking for and reach out to these people. I promised you, for next to nothing, they will give you something and be happy to work with you because then they can put that on their channel.
Yeah.
Right? All you got to do is say, you get the rights to this.
Yeah.
Okay. So you can keep selling it and they can put on their profile, I scored a fucking film.
Right.
I wrote this song for a movie specifically.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Or this song was used in a movie if they, they got something you like. But if you're going to do indie, go to the indie people, go get it done. Because all these musicians, and I've heard so much good stuff on there, and I've talked about it before, and I'm going to always keep bringing it up. Most of these people are going to get nowhere. It's just a numbers game.
Yeah.
Right. But they love what they do. They love making music.
Mm-hmm.
And if my listening to a song adds one little tick mark to their, listens for the week, if it makes them feel good, excellent. I hope so. Someone's listening to your stuff all the way through,
Yeah.
not like a partial play or whatever. Um, I would love to do something where we have a giant budget and I could go out and grab a handful of people and be like, hey,
Right.
how'd you like A, some real money,
Yeah.
and B, get out there,
Yeah.
because that's what it's about. That's why people do the indie films. They
It
do it
is.
because they love it and knowing not a lot of people are going to see it, but hoping that the one will see it, the one view will lead to this, then this, then this. Because that's what that's the dream.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the music and the scoring in this was good. It was on spot. It was used sparingly,
Mm-hmm.
even as mood music. Uh, great,
Appropriately.
great hint for everybody.
Yeah.
Get the hint. Silence is okay.
Yeah. Silence is fine.
Yeah.
So Emma.
Emma, I just wanted to point this out because with some of the indie groupings,
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of boobs.
Yes.
Unnecessary. And we've talked about how in feature films and stuff, a lot of that's been cut back. I mean,
And we're not Puritans.
oh no. Um, I mean, if you got something and you want just, bouncing tits everywhere, then do it.
Yeah.
Right. And just roll with whatever comes with it. But when I think back to the 80s movies, every fucking one of them, nothing but tits.
Yeah.
There are very few female actors who got through the 80s without going topless.
Right.
That was just sort of a thing, right? Um, and then that kind of transition, and now there's like very little of it. But then as you go back to B movies and you start rolling down the ladder on the indie films, the lower the budget, the more boobs,
Right.
apparently. um, so with that in mind, I would not have ever expected Dale Dickey to do a nude scene
Right.
today, right?
Yeah.
But there it was.
And it was
And
well done.
yeah, and Emma is a chesty woman, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the only nude piece we had of her was her bareback
Mm-hmm.
and a fraction, very small fraction of side boob.
Yeah.
When she was putting her bra on after she was getting out of bed with Matt, which it struck me because that was so opposite the formula, right?
Yeah.
Normally it would have been, Dale and or the G and Joseph, doing their thing, and they would have, under the covers and sounds and angles and stuff. And you have this young actor, um, usually she would be the one who's full on, either full frontal or, topless and everything.
Right.
So I admire that. I admire that we didn't get it. I admire that they gave Dale Dickey that screen time
Right.
in that, because that it's the age thing,
Yeah.
it's the beauty standards
And I
thing.
also think that it was important to know that she slept with Joseph.
Yeah, and they could have implied it a million
Right.
different ways.
Yeah.
But I really, and not because there was boobs, but just I really enjoyed the fact that that happened, because that says a lot about the filmmaking,
Yeah.
right? Because we're hearing more and more about a lot of actors, women, who are, speaking out about, I made fuck all for this movie and I was told I had to do this, and, this was compulsory. And then there's, actors out there who are like, I'm not showing a nipple unless you can convince me,
Right.
right? Is this nipple going to move the story forward? Otherwise, what's the point?
Right.
And that goes back to the 80s, where it was just all gratuitous nudity, um, at every level, every genre, right?
Yeah.
Um, I mean, and it was what it was, but we are where we are. And I just thought that was kind of a cool twist of things,
Mm-hmm.
where, there was that opportunity where they could have absolutely had her parading around Matt's bedroom and bouncing free and everything, but they went the other way.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool. I just want to throw that out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think we pretty much covered everything.
Kinda.
Yeah.
I think so. The music, Emma. Yeah.
All right. Well, here's one last thing.
Yeah.
If you somehow came across this podcast, and you're not subscribed to it, you should subscribe. Also, you should check out our website.
lordsofmisruleproductions.com.
We've got everything on there.
Yes,
All of our previous episodes, links to other projects that we work on, links to socials, email addresses. It's all there.
Yep. Go do it. As you're listening, whatever you're listening to us on, because there's a dozen and a half different things out there, Spotify, Amazon, the big ones, and then some weird ones, and some that are just in different countries. But subscribe, but also like,
review, rate,
share, rate,
interact with us.
Yeah,
we're not snobs.
No,
we'll answer you.
Yeah.
So there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as always,
or we'll send the G after you.
There you go. Like on our YouTube specifically, we have links to other folks, friends of the show and stuff. Go check out their stuff. We have Eric and Kyle and Hilton and David.
The Davids and
so many Davids.
Anton and
check out their stuff and give it a watch. Like David Ryan Keith, Attack of the Herbals is free on YouTube. Give it a nice watch. Send a comment.
Oh, it's fun.
It's a fun thing, and it's beautiful because it shows what he was bringing in terms of talent, even though he admits he didn't know what the fuck he was doing, and neither did Liam. But they got it done. But then you can see that progression, the growth of what happens when you mature into the filmmaking process on just how much smoother things look.
Yeah.
But it's awesome. Check out the people that they got tagged and stuff. Let's give everybody their day in the sun.
And in 2 weeks, come right back here. Listen to our next episode.
Yeah, because it will be there.
It'll be a banger. I don't even know what we're watching, but I know it will be.
Yeah, we got to pick one. We haven't gotten ahead of that game.
Shh, don't tell him that. I just said it'll be a banger.
Oh, okay. Well, now we got to make sure we find one that is. See, that in itself is selling it. Because we've had some not bangers recently.
It's going to be a banger. I'm putting the energy out into the universe.
And as it comes to the reach out to us, just close by saying once again, if you've done anything at all with film, we want to hear from you. We want to talk to you. Tell us what you did, what you worked on. We'll give it a view. Our only rule is we got to be able to get to it.
Yeah, we have to be able to watch it.
And preferably not something you're going to email us to us or Dropbox, because we'd like other people to be able to see it too. So it has to
we'll take advanced films that haven't been released if you want like a spoiler free.
Yeah, like Fried Berry. We did Fried Berry spoiler free.
Mm-hmm.
And then we Tombstone Rashomon.
Yeah.
And
we can do it.
We can do it. And we love doing it.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, with that, until next week, this is Tanny.
And this is Jim.
We'll catch you later, B-Siders.
Bye.